Greetings, agents. Pacific City needs your help once again. In Crackdown 2, the agency equips players with the latest explosive weaponry, but it's up to you to grab orbs, level up, and pummel the hordes of vile villainy that get in your way. Just remember, skills for kills, agent. Skills for kills.
I'm here with Peter Connolly, the executive producer over at Microsoft Game Studios, or as we like to call it in the industry, right? And we're talking Crackdown 2 right now. Obviously, we're finally seeing the game here. You're playing it in front of us. Tell us what's going on right now in the game.
Right now in the game, Martin, it looks like he has attached a mag grenade to the helicopter, which is a little toy that we've given to people. We like to think this time around we're giving people more toys in the toy box to play with.
Okay, let's talk about some of the other toys you're giving them. Obviously, we've got the mag grenade here. Let's talk about some of the new weapons, maybe some of the new vehicles in the game.
New weapons in the game. We've got some really cool weapons that are physical-based weapons as opposed to just being ballistic. So we've got UV shotgun. UV is disaster for the freaks, but it's also a physical weapon. It doesn't harm humans, but it acts like a giant leaf blower, for lack of a better phrase. And essentially you can go about the world and just blowing things out of your way. You can juggle things with the UV shotgun the way you could in the first game. We've also got flocket launchers back, which is just, BSU, as we used to say. I don't think I'm allowed to say the word.
Yeah, say it, fine, we'll bleep it.
Blow up.
There you go.
That's what we're all about. So that allows you to target things as you want to blow up and blow more up. We've got incredible grenades. I don't know if Martin, he's in a wingsuit right now. This is another toy. It's an unlockable in the game. It allows you to kind of basically glide around the world. So we're all about verticality. It's back in a big way. You've got the Agency Tower over there. You've got Hope Tower here, which is actually higher. And then these towers also grow and morph during the game. So we're not going to tell you about that. How that happens, that's for players to discover. But we've got things like wingsuit, stunt rings. So all the toy box elements that you expect out of Crackdown are back in a big scale. And there's just much more over the top.
We've talked about the great things. Obviously, the weapons in the first game, the fact that you can upgrade your character to be this immensely overpowered human being.
Yeah.
But let's talk about some of the things that you guys had to improve on. What are some of the things maybe you didn't like from the first game, or some of the things you heard from your fans that they didn't like? What have you improved on?
I think one of the things we heard from the fans was that we didn't have a story, and the way we take that is actually we did have a story, we just didn't tell it. We just did a crap job of telling it, but we're not a story-based game, so the way we want to answer that was give people a facility to explore the story in their way. So we've used orbs for that mechanic, so you've now got story orbs as well. So you can collect those story orbs and discover more about Pacific City itself, how the freak virus has taken over. You can go look at the screens and around the city that you find and get a little snippet into the news of things as they happened in the city.
Right.
That's one of the elements I think that we heard a lot about. Just to speak on orbs, we've also added a game mechanic. I don't know if you can get a renegade orb up on screen anytime soon, Martin, but we've got these things. You talked about the pain around orbs, so we've made orbs a gameplay mechanic in and of themselves. A level 1 renegade orb will run away from you, but you'll probably be able to get it. Okay. A level 2 renegade orb, you'll still probably be able to get it. By the time you get to level 5, you'll be cursing our orbs. They're smart, they're intelligent. If you try to track them, they'll get out of your way. They'll reverse direction.
Okay, is that what we're looking at right here?
That's a driving orb, actually. That's one of the renegade orbs for driving. Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got different types of attributes for. So there's agility renegade orbs and there's driving renegade orbs.
And then my last question to you is, as someone who you guys saw great success with the first game. But what do you hope to kind of see from this? Obviously the numbers are important, but you've kind of already experienced that. What do you hope people take away from Crackdown 2?
There's lots of things we feel really proud about. Crackdown 1, obviously the numbers were great, and as a business, it's a business, not a charity, so that was great. But also I think we established a subgenre. We've had other people come and play in that market too, and that's great. It's good for the industry, it's good for everybody. I'd like to think that Crackdown 2 will cement that, still ourselves as king of that kind of subgenre. And we introduced verticality. I think that's very important. As a gameplay mechanic, every time I do any game, I want to go up as well as out. So we want to enhance that. We want people to walk away saying, yeah, if the game that you want is over the top, like a seamless toy box of vertical mayhem, then Crackdown is where you're going to play.
Well, look, the game looks awesome. Thanks for bringing it in, sir.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. Now, back to Morgan. I'm here with Martin Livingston. He is the game designer at Ruffian. We're here talking Crackdown 2, so let's talk specifics. First thing people want to know about missions. What are you guys doing in this game?
The original game had definite mission structure. What we've done is we've changed that up a little bit. It's a bit more freeform, okay? Rather than looking at individual islands, we've gone for a global scale. So anything you do is working towards an overarching ultimate goal. Everything is available from the start. If you want, you can go and do the hardest one straight away. You will get your ass handed to you. So, but if the player wants to do that, the player can do that. we advise them. We give little hints along the way as to which would be the best things to do.
And then something that you guys really showed off at PAX, what I think personally was one of the biggest hits of the entire convention is the multiplayer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of insanity going around. We actually made a comment on one of the X-Plays about how there's so much stuff going on screen, but there's no frame rate issues whatsoever. It's just absolute mayhem and everything flows very smoothly. Talk about the multiplayer, how you're able to get all those people on screen, and then talk about what those people are doing when they're on screen.
Well, that's just a very good code team, to be honest, in terms of keeping the frame rate. Yeah, the multiplayer, the Crackdown 2 world makes so much sense for multiplayer. Everything we did had an eye on multiplayer, so you can play it single player should you want, or if you want multiple people in there, by all means, yeah, all guns blazing or tactical. Have somebody up with a sniper rifle on the top, have somebody come in with a helicopter, somebody comes in the side of the tank. It really is it's a free-form way of approaching the missions however you want.
Okay, and let's talk about the scaling of that. If I'm a level 1, you're a level 3, how does that scale? How do I not, do I throw off the balance of your missions? How's that all gonna work?
We don't dynamically scale as people come in. That always feels a little bit cheap, that you shoot somebody once, they die. If all of a sudden you shoot somebody once and they don't die, we're messing with the player's perception. So the game doesn't scale at that stage, but we have a number of difficulty levels. So depending on how you start the game, that's difficulty.
Okay, that makes sense. And then let's talk about, I believe it was maybe Rocket Tag is what we saw in at PAX. Let's talk about that particular mode, and then let's talk about all the modes that you guys actually have in the game. So start with that.
Yeah, Rocket Tag was the big one at PAX. Everybody loved that. In fact, the queues that was what most people wanted to play. And that is a simple child's game made chaotic. One person manages to get hold of the yellow orb, and then everybody else has rocket launchers and is gunning for them. So you just have rockets flying absolutely everywhere.
And what about the other modes you got?
Okay, we've also got Team Deathmatch and Deathmatch, and all of these are up to 16 players maximum, so an awful lot of people getting shifted around the screen.
Right.
And the usual situation with Deathmatch, even sides, but we have in this one the helicopter, the tank, the buggy, so you're not just running around with your guns, you can also have a little bit more interesting armament going on.
Well, the game looks awesome. When can we expect to be playing it?
You'll be playing it, I hope, first day on the 6th of July.
I'm going to spend the night at a Best Buy.
Again stuff.
Because I'm stalking the chick who works there.
Oh, good.
Back to you, Morgan.